the discussion that took place there was, what do we do for our community to change it for the future? And I believe that meeting led to several other meetings within the 5 people that I mentioned to you. And we actually decided at that moment to say that, okay, the elections are coming up, and let's take it upon ourselves to change the direction of Husseini Islamic Center. It was absolutely a miracle of God of how some of these situations got solved. Absolutely, you can ask any one of our team members, and they will tell you, because they know exactly how these things were solved.
So every president faces challenges, and it's probably these challenges that define who you are and define how well you respond to a situation, and what you will be sort of remembered for. Can you share some of these challenges and how you overcame them?
When the team took office at that time, there were the challenges that the community was facing was things like monetary funding to run the day-to-day programs at the center, again due to the financial crisis at that time. The interest of youths at the center, the upkeep of the center that we were in, some internal community issues that were very, very, very serious, and probably would result in shutting our mosque down. And so these were some of the initial challenges that we knew we had to solve. Eventually, throughout the year, there were new challenges that we never thought that we would have, and these were things like community problems, meaning family issues and so on and so forth. Now, we were never trained to handle those type of things, so those were some of the things that we found challenging. It was the first time we've ever had those situations. So that also was a very, very sticky situation, and those are really the challenges that I believe made us sweat. And alhamdulillah, again, everything that we sat down and discussed on and looked for a way out, it was with the help of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And honestly, some of these things were solved as miracles. And these families that were involved and these team members that were involved are all proof to that. They will give you their stories as to what happened. But these were really the challenges that we had at that time. Getting Maulanas and having the majlises and so on was not really a problem. Mosque was still going on, the programs were still going on, but putting together a system moving forward that would stick. That was one of our challenges that would stick and be used or made better going into the future. And the whole team really focused on solving those challenges. And alhamdulillah, I must say that with the help of Allah, we were sort of successful on most of them.
You are actually the only president to have served 2 terms. As president of HIC. So obviously people liked you, and you must have been doing a very good job, and that's why they allowed you to continue. What are some of the accomplishments that you had during your 2 terms?
It's not fair to say that I myself served 2 terms, because this team was a unique team. It was everybody in that team served 2 terms. And I'll tell you one thing: I am not the genius out of those 5. Everybody had their input, and we served this community together. So, in paper, I may be the only president that served 2 terms until now, but really, it doesn't really mean anything. I think the team was so good, was so strong that, we hadn't finished what we had started. So we decided to stay back and say, okay, you know what, let's take this another term and finish off. Make sure that when we leave, we have a good ground or footing for the next committee to take over. And alhamdulillah, I think our team achieved that. Accomplishments, the biggest accomplishment that I think that, and I think it encompasses all the other accomplishments, is the fact that we were part of making a difference. This team was part of making a difference for HIC. It was a very critical time. A lot of people were moving here. Things were not good around environment-wise. And I think whatever that we were empowered to do, and that also meaning, whatever that we had in our power to do, we gave it all that we did. And the best accomplishment was to remove the membership of HIC out of all its things that it had carried from the past. Remove it from that and make it into an icon for the North American and maybe even the worldwide Khoja community, where people actually looked up to Orlando Jamaat as to what programs we were doing and started replicating things that we were doing, which is amazing. That overall is the best accomplishment, that I can think that, we took HIC from where it was and brought it up to a place where it could then grow into other, into bigger, better things. To put it all in one word.
I think it's sort of during your term, and I've gotten this sense from a lot of different people, you guys were able to revitalize the community. And every leader that has come into the history of HIC has sort of moved it along. And you guys were also instrumental in making sure that we are where we are today. Looking at the present and looking at the future, what do you see?
Husseini Islamic Center is probably going to outgrow, I would say, even Toronto. Toronto, I think, has a community of 5,000 or 6,000 people. I see Husseini Islamic Center in the next 10 to 15 years having as many, if not more, members. Reason being is because we have people moving here every month from every part of the world. What I see in the future is the youngsters basically being in charge of this place, making it vibrant, making it a place where all of us want to be. And I think we're moving very well in that direction.
Our growth rate is exponential. With that kind of growth comes different kinds of challenges. So what do you see, or what do you envision this community becoming in the future? And how do you think we can sort of maintain this community and not lose its roots?
Losing its roots, then obviously we need to make sure that we involve our youngsters. That's the only way you don't lose your roots. We have to make sure that no matter what it takes, we keep them here. So if you have to build a gym, or you have to put a soccer ground, or whatever it takes to get them here, to come here for namaz, or to come here for majlis, and to attract them with volleyball or soccer or whatever, whatever it takes is what is needed, is what needs to be done at this time. Again, I see Husseini Islamic Center being a 5,000-6,000 community, people community. As long as the succession of leadership is planned, I feel that there's no way that this community can be led astray, because if the leaders are groomed from the time that they're young, and they have the background of all the other past leaders, then I see Husseini Islamic Center being really an icon in the world again.
So I guess you are sort of opening yourself up to the younger people and the people that want to come, and you have basically given them an open invitation to sort of consult them, or perhaps help them in this matter, and move us in that direction.
Yes, absolutely. I think that myself and any other person in the past that has been in leadership positions is ready to give and help in any way possible, advice, or whatever it takes to make sure that the succession plan for HIC is positive, and I mean, the youngsters need to take their part now.
So talking about the youngsters, and talking about them sort of wanting to take that part, or needing to take that part, what message do you have for them that will sort of drive them or motivate them to take up those positions?
For every minute that you give to this place, I guarantee you, you will have years of satisfaction. Alhamdulillah, ever since my example, ever since I decided to help and give my time and so on, things have always worked out for themselves. These days there are so many issues, so many problems. Our kids, our youngsters face so many issues and so many problems. Some of the things we never even had in our time, in my time, not your time. So you're a lot younger than I am. But I see this place as a medicine for every problem that a person has. We have depression cases, we have, God knows, so many different issues in our communities throughout the world. Give a minute of your time to this place and watch how your problems get solved. Absolutely guaranteed, 100%. And if it doesn't work, you can hold me to it on the Day of Judgment. Any youngster who wants to take part and position and give their time in this place, a minute of it is worth so much more here and in the hereafter. And there's nothing more that I can say than that. There's this monetarily, may Allah bless you for every minute that you get here. May Allah bless you in your business or whatever that you do. And it works. I'm telling you, it works. So if there ever is a time for them to step up, it's now.
So you have a unique perspective being a past president, in the sense that you were president, and in 2012 your term ended, and now you're no longer the president at this point in time. So sort of what have you used your time with? Like, what have you used your time for in serving the community post 2012?
So 2012 was my 2 terms were over. We still had not completed what we had started in 2009. And at that moment, it was decided that Brother Raza Danji would come in, who was my vice president, who would come in as president, and we would make a team around him. So I came in. I came again to serve the community as a treasurer for 2000 for 2.5 years, I believe, under the presidency of Brother Raza Danji. And in those 2 years, we basically tried to complete whatever visions that we had in 2009, so that the next team, the next young team, can then step into place and raise the bar a little bit.
Do you think there are other important roles or other examples that you can give people that want to be a part of the community, that want to partake in the community, such as volunteering or something of that nature?
To these youngsters, if you're going to do something, do it 100%, right? Going back to Marhum Jafar Abdul Hussein.
So I guess even if you are coming during the clean-a-thon to clean the mosque, or if you're serving chai, or if you're a task force volunteer, or if you're a madrasa teacher, or you're giving a lecture, or whatever it may be, whatever you do, just do it at 100%.
Get involved. One thing leads to another. Like I said, a minute of your time in this place, whether it's anything, like you said, cleaning, reciting, whatever it is, comes back to you. It reinstates your faith in God, which then gives you the opportunity to give more time towards this place. So absolutely, anything, just get involved in any way possible.
All the things that we were able to achieve were really because of the amazing team that we had. And, Brother Raza Danji, Brother Rizwan Jessa, Brother Murtaza Darsi, Brother Mustafa Yusuf Ali, and on the ladies' side, Sister Shalina and Sister Siddiqa. And this team was just immaculate. It was a team that worked together and made sure that our intentions were good, and we got things done, and that was the best part about it.